All right, good afternoon. It is 1 o'clock. Whoa. Tuesday, November 14th. I've already gotten a whole bunch done. So we'll probably fill you in here while I get the combine warmed up. We got our load of dry corn hauled out of here just after 12 o'clock, about an hour ago. Messaged the guy last night. He messaged me this morning. He said 11:30. I said, hell yeah. So got here by 10:45. Me and Bob got the site set up, and we loaded up the semi. I think we even got some video of that. So also I bought a cool air filter cleaner. Been seeing it on the YouTubes. Like all the fancy farmer guys have been using it, so I searched it. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Got one for ourselves, and we tried it out. It worked pretty good because we bought new filters and stuff for the combine. And when you're doing beans is pretty dusty, and yeah, I did clean it out real nice. We even got some pictures of that. Yeah, I even started the combine. I forgot to put the filter back in. So, but there you go. So yeah, it's just after 1, and it is real nice. It is warm, it's breezy, it's dry, and we're going to continue to dry batch corn. We had thought about maybe just taking what we have left and just putting it in the bin and running the fan throughout the month. But I like what we did, and if we're able to keep doing that, that's what I would like to do. So I'm going to get about 300 to 400 bushel in the bin today. That way we can run the fan the rest of the day, tonight, tomorrow night, anywhere where it's going to be warm and, humidity under 80%. We get a couple more jugs of kerosene. We'll use that torpedo heater. I don't know if I've filmed that at all. But yeah, that's a thing. People do it. So I'm doing it the super rigged way, since we do not have a corn dryer for ourselves, but I really want to get one next year. So we're now going to start combining corn. So let's see the agenda here. So if anyone's been following the planting videos, I'm pretty sure I explained what I was doing, but what I did this year, or what I've been trying to do the previous years, is finding a way to get more ears per acre. Now, this corn head is set so that each slot is 30 inches apart, which matches the corn planter widths. So every 30 inches there's a row of corn. The physics, the physiological of how a corn plant grows. If corn plants are too close together, they compete with each other and they make smaller ears. Unless conditions are super good, where you got good heat, good water, good sunlight, good fertility, then they all have the available nutrients and resources for them to grow. So them being so close together doesn't matter that much. But if you're able to at least spread them out a little bit, that way they're not really competing for all that resources. Now, some resources are limited, like sunlight, water, heat, but we can give them fertilizer, we can give them micronutrients, and if we irrigate, we can give them water. So trying to do a heavy plant population in a single row, they start to not like that. Now, doing a twin row, where within 30 inches you have two rows that are like 6-8 inches apart, that way you can either zigzag the seeds, or even if the seeds are side by side, they're still 6 inches apart and around, which is about the same spacing if you were doing single rows at like the normal plant population of 34,000, 6 inches apart. So that way they're spread out and they're not really competing as much, because they just think that they're not that close, but there's just more plants per acre because they're in a twin row. So what I've been trying to do is doing a heavier plant population when I do twin row. So pretty much from here over, I did single row, except for when I did an experiment of just did twin row with like full on 64,000. So here, twin row, 38,000 plants per population, and I've been doing 32. And it's pretty much, I have four sprayer passes. So what's 4 times 12? 48. So I have 48 rows of twin row. And then towards the end over here, it goes back to single row, and then I did another super 64,000, which got fed with AMS. So I'm curious on how that turned out. I might even go and do that today just to see how that is. Because pretty much, I think I am doing I'm doing 8 passes today. So we're gonna make a pass here, go to the end, and then we're gonna see what it looks like in the bin and compare it to other pictures. And then I think I might go over there and look for the super 64,000, whatever the fuck, down there, see how that looks, and then just fill the bin up, over 400 bushel. Small. They look like normal size ears to me, and that's a good sign, because that's 7,000 more ears per acre. Yeah, so far so good. Just gotta go slower, that's all. All right, we made it to the end. That kind of looks like the same height as the single row, but I think the corn is drier and it spreads out more. So I kind of think that there's a little bit more corn there, if you ask me. I know that when we did the super twin row, it was definitely closer to the shaft, but this looks like the same height as a single row. But I think the corn's drier, and there is more corn in here. So I'll know when I go and when I turn around here and make a pass, go back to the wagon, if the pile gets close to this support beam, then I'll know that there was a lot of corn there. So, all right. Yeah, we're up to that shaft. And again, the corn is spread out more. It's a lot drier. So yeah, those twin rows are producing more than the single rows by a little bit. All right, let's get this loaded up. Sure is flowing like it's drier. So that was probably over 120 bushel. I kind of calculated one trip down is like 0.3 acres, another trip back up, and each one is like 60 bushel. So that's what we're gonna calculate there, 120 bushel. So we're gonna do another round, put it in this wagon. Look at my hand, and like that. Anyway, I think I'm starting to leak a little bit more corn. Under here, so this is the shaft for the clean auger. So when the corn goes through the shivs and the separator, and the corn falls down, there's an auger right there. And the auger takes the corn over to the other side of the combine. That's where the clean grain elevator chain is. So under here's a pan. You can see got some magical duct tape going on. We already put a piece of tin, which was still leaking, but we got right there. We got corn falling out here. Hold on. So we're gonna put a patch of tape right there. Yeah, we're losing kernels big time right there. I think maybe something right there might be leaking. I think over there looks okay. But yeah, we're gonna put some pieces of tape right there. All right, that's patched up there. That's patched up there. All right, let's get the hell out of here. All right, so I'm over here towards the side of the field here, and this is my other super high rate 64,000 twin row spot. And this got some AMS. So we are going to combine this and we're going to see what this does. I don't know, those ears look pretty big for 64,000. That's a better view. Yeah, there's a lot of plant material on this road. This pass, I mean. definitely more corn in that. It is right up to the shaft. Now this corn seems to be wetter because it was kind of peaking a little bit more than the previous passes. But here, let's actually get out and look better. Yeah, there seems to be more corn in there to me. Very interesting and cool. Very cool. Alright, we finished that pass. And there's way more corn in this freaking hopper here. Yeah, I'm thinking the ammonium sulfate is working. Now, is it worth the $60 an acre? That means you need to get 15 bushel an acre more. Well, there's 15 bushel extra in there. And I haven't even done an acre yet. Yeah, it's working out pretty good. Definitely seems wetter. All right, so we got probably over 250 bushel in this wagon here. Let's put this in the bin. Okay, we are all set up here. I went in, there was some corn left over. There's like a 10 bushel, but yeah, this is dry, so the corn is just gonna fall. It's all gonna get dried anyway, so let's go. All right, empty, 315. Okay, so when I get the next load, I'm gonna move the auger over so that it kind of fills up in this area here. That way most of this spot gets filled up. It'll be a lot easier to level out. All right, let's do this again. Yeah, this is just the first pass down in twin row corn that's had a ammonium sulfate, 38,000 population. That's pretty close to the shaft, and it is drier because again it just slopes better. Where when the corn's wetter, it kind of peaks more. So there's definitely more corn on these twin row passes. Now, what's interesting, or to keep in mind, I did that AMS. I'm sorry, hold on. Learn how to talk. I did the V5 fungicide application with the Quadris fungicide. And I pretty much did 10 acres, which is basically everything from this side of the field right up to that super twin row where I had it at 64,000 population. That's where I stopped my V5, right there. So everything else in this cornfield did not get any V5 fungicide. And quite honestly, it didn't get any AMS either. I thought all the AMS I really sprayed was like around this area here. And I didn't even do a good job spreading it because the fertilizer spreader that I put together fell apart. So yeah, when we get to this stuff over there, it is not going to be the same as what I'm doing right here. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. And I can even kind of tell how the corn just seems kind of shorter and more thinner than it is over here. So, all right. Right here on the end of the field, where the corn gets short, there's a lot of weeds here, and the weeds are pretty big and thick. And I'm actually having a hard time going through it weeds get wrapped up in those rollers. Those rollers would help pull the stalk down. You can see that they're all wrapped up with weeds. If I try to go forward, you can just hear it laboring, and then it just stops. So I'm actually done with this row. It's like only 15 feet left, but it's only corn that's iffy anyway. So we're done with this pass. Forgot to show you, this was the fullest hopper I had on for one round. So just doing one round, I had the most corn in this hopper for this pass. Twin rows are really working out. I'm gonna do one more round. That should be almost like 500 bushels. So I'll just say 450. So basically, what you can do is when you go into corn stalks where there's no weeds, over time the corn stalks help erode these weeds off of these roller things. But these are bound up pretty good, especially in the front. So I got my trusty weed knife, and we're gonna make some cuts here. That way, as it's running, it should help undo itself. Ooh, that took about 10 minutes. I just kind of slice on the side here, just to kind of cut them up, especially in the front here. Because with this all bound up, the stalks, they just can't get in, because these rollers are angled and help feed the stalk in, and they get stripped right through. But since I got these cut, and once these start rolling and get some stalks through them, they'll come right off. So just don't go in corn where there's weeds, or just spray better. Do a better job spraying. All right, it is just after 4:20. So I am gonna do these single rows right up here. Man, my windows are dirty. Yeah, we're gonna do those single rows up there. Again, they got hit with AMS, and it should combine faster. That way I get done before 5. I can get this loaded into the thing, get the corn in the bin spread out so it's even, and run the fan, and be done farming for today. Alright, it's our last one. This was pretty good. It was over the bar. I probably got 240 bushels. It is 4:50. Sun's going down. It's starting to get chilly too. So yeah. air coming through the door here actually feels warm. Just after 5:30. Done. A lot more corn in there over the last other batches, so it's good. Let the fan run all night. Humidity is around 80%, but the corn is warm. And from what I read, as long as the air is cooler than the grain, you're drying it. So that's what it's going to do all night, all day tomorrow. Very, very good. Very good. All right. Haven't got word yet on what our load was, but yeah, whatever. Not sure what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, but it's we're drying corn now, so all right, until next time.